In every age, men have feared losing themselves in the pursuit of love or companionship. It is a quiet tragedy when a man, once strong and clear in his purpose, bends entirely to the will of another, becoming what people call a man under a woman's heel. Stoicism offers a path to avoid this fate, not by rejecting women, nor by retreating from relationships, but by remembering the highest duty a man owes. To himself, to reason, and to virtue. To live as a man under another's command is slavery. To live under a woman's command in matters where a man should remain sovereign, his values, his mission, his discipline, is no less destructive. A Stoic does not deny love, nor does he despise partnership. Instead, he enters it as a free man, never as a servant. 1. Know yourself before you give yourself. Man who does not know himself is the easiest to control. When his identity depends on her approval, when his happiness rests on her moods, he becomes fragile and submissive. The Stoic path begins with self-knowledge. Who am I? What is my purpose? What virtues do I live by? Only when these questions are answered can a man stand firm in any relationship. If you do not know your principles, someone else will supply them for you. And once you accept borrowed principles, you are no longer a man, you are an actor in another person's play. 2. Value reason above emotion. The greatest chains are not physical, but emotional. A man who worships affection or fears abandonment will compromise his dignity to avoid conflict. He will say yes when he should say no. He will remain silent when he should speak. This is how men become conquered, not by force, but by their own weakness. A Stoic must discipline his emotions. Love should be cherished, but it must never silence reason. Desire should be enjoyed, but it must never override duty. When emotions are mastered, a man becomes unshakable. When emotions rule, he becomes malleable clay. 3. Do not trade freedom for comfort. Many men surrender leadership in exchange for peace. They believe that obedience will grant them affection, security, or stability. Yet what they receive is not respect, but quiet disdain. No woman truly admires a man who has abandoned his sovereignty. She may tolerate him, she may use him, but she cannot revere him. The Stoics remind us that comfort is not the highest good. Virtue, integrity, and strength are greater. Do not seek a relationship where you must crawl to be accepted. A partnership worth keeping will never require the sacrifice of your backbone. 4. Lead without tyranny, follow without servitude. To avoid becoming a man under a woman's heel does not mean to dominate or to control. Stoicism rejects tyranny as much as submission. A man should lead his life with clarity, and in doing so, he naturally provides direction within his relationship. Leadership is not force, but steadiness. Not commands, but consistency. There will be times when compromise is wise, when yielding is rational. But compromise made from strength differs from submission born of fear. One is the act of a free man, the other is the act of a servant. 5. Guard your time and attention. What you give freely becomes devalued. Men who pour endless time, money, and energy into a woman while neglecting their own growth soon find themselves empty. They mistake sacrifice for love, but what they truly offer is dependence. A Stoic guards his resources as he guards his soul. He invests in what strengthens him: study, discipline, health, and meaningful labor. From this strength, he can share with others, but he never abandons his foundation to please another. 6. Remember death and fate. All relationships, like all lives, are temporary. One day she will leave, or you will leave, whether by choice or by death. To enslave yourself to someone whose presence is not eternal is folly. The Stoic remembers mortality, not to become cold, but to stay free. When you hold this perspective, you love without chains. You give without desperation. You remain yourself, even in union. Conclusion: the Stoic man stands upright. To avoid becoming a man under a woman's heel is not to reject women. It is to reject slavery. It is to live upright, with reason as your compass and virtue as your shield. A true partner will honor your strength. A false partner will try to weaken it. If you stand firm, you will attract the first and repel the second. The Stoic man is not harsh, nor is he soft. He is firm. He walks beside a woman, never behind her in fear, never ahead of her in arrogance. He remembers always that the highest authority over his life is not love,